I believe that a good education, especially a good Catholic education, requires openness. Openness to the world of ideas, openness to diversity, openness to other points of view, and openness to the challenges which others bring us. Here at Divine Word College, we are trying to inculcate into our students and into ourselves some measure of that openness which is necessary to train a good missionary and a good citizen of this world. A recent poll indicates that more than one-half of all Americans today do not believe that a college education is worthwhile. Of course, it's important to understand what worthwhile might mean. For many today, it has to do with the monetary value of an education. Is it worth going to college if one does not get a good job afterwards? Too many graduates today enter the working world with a diploma, huge debts, and no job. News commentators assure us that college graduates still make more money during their lifetime than those who never go to college. But do students attend college just to make money? If that's true, then Divine Word College is a failure. After all, many, or even most of our students will never make big salaries as missionary priests, brothers, sisters, or lay ministers. Then what does a college education offer? It should provide other benefits besides financial ones. Higher education challenges students to incorporate certain values into their lives and to practice certain virtues, including self-discipline, the use of one's intellect, respect for others, an ethical lifestyle, concern for the common welfare, respect for human life, and even an openness to the divine. I believe that a college education, at least the one offered here at Divine Word College, opens students to new worlds, new possibilities, and new horizons. In fact, all education is built on the premise of openness. We develop and grow when others share experiences or information with us, and when they challenge us to think. Despite its small size and practically unknown status, Divine Word has its own niche, its own mission. That niche is summed up in its mission statement, and I quote, Divine Word College, a Roman Catholic seminary in the tradition of the Society of the Divine Word, educates men and women for missionary service as priests, brothers, sisters, and laypersons. For this purpose, we offer an education that combines spiritual formation, a liberal arts curriculum, language learning, and mission preparation within an environment that teaches and honors the rich cultural diversity of the world. This spiritual, academic, and experiential preparation serves the particular learning needs of our students, promotes their development as whole and responsible persons, and fosters a lifelong commitment to serving God's people. Unquote. We each have our mission. It is not important for me to have the talents and mission of someone else. What is important for me is to recognize and value my talents and my own mission. Divine Word missionaries define their missionary activity today in terms of prophetic dialogue. In order to engage ourselves effectively in this prophetic dialogue, we need to open ourselves to a relentless process of learning. In biblical terms, we can call it an attitude of continuous conversion or metanoia. This process of continuous conversion begins with our pre-novitiate training, that is, during college. This process of continuous conversion should help make the Divine Word missionary a witness to the universality and diversity of the reign of God. An important aspect of this witness to the universality and diversity of the kingdom of God is intercultural living, which is important for every missionary and for the missionary church. Interculturality is a genuine value. Father Robert Casala, a member of the SVD General Council in Rome and a graduate of Divine Word College, puts it this way: missionaries living in international or intercultural communities become, through the example of their life, more credible witnesses of the universality of God's reign and its openness to diversity. Indeed, the witness of our life together in multicultural religious communities is itself a means of engaging in prophetic dialogue. Unquote. Respecting the universality and diversity of the kingdom of God is particularly relevant today in the context of globalization, which tends to exclude the other who is different, to insist on uniformity as a means to promote unity, and even to eliminate differences. However, intercultural communities do not occur by chance. They need to be consciously created, intentionally promoted, carefully cared for, and attentively nurtured. Divine Word missionaries have deliberately and consciously chosen to seek out diversity and to live out interculturality. It comes from our desire to live and preach the gospel in today's globalized world. Father Casala identified 3 areas of intercultural living that need to be addressed in formation and academic programs like that here at Divine Word College. Intercultural competence, knowledge of different cultures, and acquiring behavioral skills. These are the kinds of skills which Divine Word College seeks to teach our students, not only in its academic programs, but also in its formation programs. Such skills require a certain amount of openness to other cultures, patience with those who are different, dialogue with challenging ideas, and a willingness to be flexible and to learn new ways of doing things. We believe this is possible not simply because human beings are capable of change, but also because God's grace helps us to do that which might otherwise appear difficult, if not impossible. Of course, not every idea is a good one. Not every philosophy is equal. Not every value should demand our time and attention. To what then should Divine Word College and its students be open? We must be open to our academic heritage. We must be open to our missionary heritage. Although it is important to study the wisdom of the past, education is oriented toward the future. We must deal with today's world and tomorrow's, not yesterday's. Whether we like it or not, our world is largely secular, skeptical, and consumer-oriented. we must be flexible enough to welcome those who are different, to be comfortable with other cultures and those who think differently, and to be capable of dialogue with those who may not appreciate an education based on a Christian and Greco-Roman foundation. A liberal arts curriculum is meant to help students examine the world of today, to accept its challenges, but also at the same time to challenge that world. Divine Word College is attempting to help our students to observe, to think, to analyze, to accept what is reasonable, and to distinguish what is culturally conditioned. And we don't just theorize about intercultural living. Here, we try to live it. Divine Word College recognizes that education and formation are closely linked. One supports and challenges the other. The 16th General Chapter of the Society of the Divine Word in 2006 declared that formation should provoke enthusiasm for the reign of God, set us on fire for community life, and encourage a spirit of dialogue. We may not have thousands of students, but we are proud of the ones we have. They are challenged to grow in their intellectual capacity, in their ability to live interculturally, and in their response to the divine. These are necessary if our students want to be the priests, brothers, sisters, and lay ministers of the future. I believe that the mission of Divine Word College today is to help our students develop an openness to intellectual challenges, to intercultural dialogue, and to the movement of the Spirit in their lives.